thing that makes us different from all other jewelers is the totally unique service at Prestons of Bolton.
VFM, Austin Rover's biggest value for money package ever, is ready for the road. VFM, that means value for money. Added equipment at no extra cost. Real value for money extras like electric windows, radio cassettes, and automatic transmission. Even the new ambassadors have added extras. It means brand new e-towels, accent on low price, with the new 1.3 SL only $3,999. The new Acclaim L, totally equipped at only $4,621. The luxury Mini Mayfair. The Mini City now only $2,899. New 1.3 Metros. And the new Rover 2600 SE joins a Rover lineup made even more luxurious. High standards of finish, new cars, constant developments in engineering and reliability. Competitive value for money prices, more equipment across the range at no extra cost. That's Austin Rover's Autumn VFM program. The best reason ever to move over to Austin Rover.
At Pirelli, when we build a tire, we build it to rely on. We brace it with 300 yards of high-tensile steel. We bind it with 800 yards of flexible fiber cord. We encase it in 12 individually formulated rubber compounds. And we finish it with a unique computer-designed tread pattern. No other tire can give you Pirelli-ability.
NEGAS today with Sue Lloyd-Roberts telling you about the better-than-ever value at your NEGAS showroom. Today, gas cookers starting at just £199, fitted and working. £199 and no hidden extras. And these two are only £209, fitted and working. And there are many other fitted and working bargains at NEGAS. Many models come with a trade-in allowance. There's £80 on this one. Whichever you choose, NEGAS will install it safely at no extra charge. Remember, you can buy a new cooker for only £199, fitted and working. It's here at NEGAS today.
You are watching one of the mysteries of physics. Why does a ball swing in the air? How can you control it?
Oh, what a beautiful in-swinger.
The mystery is explained in issue 1 of Science Now, a new weekly magazine that builds into the most up-to-date science encyclopedia you can buy. Learn the deadly secrets of the West's A-10 Thunderbolt, described as a flying gun with a plane built round it. Learn about the little fish that literally scares sharks rigid. In issue 1, read about the problems of living in space and new ways of living under canvas. Science Now is out now. Don't miss it.
Only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate tastes like chocolate never tasted before. Only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate tastes like chocolate never tasted before.
Cadbury's Flake, the crumbliest, flakiest milk chocolate in the world.
On Saturday night at 7, the code word is the Eagle has landed.
Get the men in position. Don't let anyone out of the village, and once anyone comes in, they stay in.
Does anyone else know that Winston Churchill will be here?
Only Father Verica.
You intend to assassinate Mr. Churchill as he passes through here today?
What an astonishing notion.
That you're a traitor, are you?
Only I never betrayed anything in my life that I believed in.
Action this day. That's Churchill's personal motto. You know that?
I still think we should notify
I want you to go and head off Churchill at the Walsingham Road.
If you don't notify the War Office, I will.
An audacious plot to kidnap Winston Churchill brings the horror of war to a sleepy English village. The Eagle has landed, Saturday at 7 on Yorkshire.
TSB, the bank that likes to say yes.
MPG, TSB. Semi-D, TSB.
TSB.
TSB. TSB.
TSB.
From 123 to OAP, from Form 5B to new trainee, all TSB. VIPs.
TSB, the bank that likes to say yes.
Bye, Mum. Call you next week.
Bye.
You know, I didn't think I'd be enjoying my motoring as much now as I did then. But now, of course, we're shielded.
We're what?
Royal Insurance. You know, the new CarShield 50 policy. Wider cover, less worry, and we pay less.
If you're between 50 and 75 with a good driving record, ask about CarShield 50 before you renew your motor policy.
If you value it, shield it with Royal Insurance.
Only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate tastes like chocolate never tasted before. Only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate tastes like chocolate never tasted before.
These days, you rarely see a Zulu in our pubs and clubs. The churchwarden's been excommunicated, the Dublin sent to Coventry. However, perhaps we can help to reinstate these homely briars by recommending a tobacco which brings out the best in any pipe. Mellow Virginia is neither harsh nor mild, but cool and satisfying. Who knows, with our tobacco and your spirit of adventure, even the meerschaum could make a comeback.
We asked these 20 dancers which flavour lasted longer. New Ultra chewing gum or ordinary gum? 2 out of 3 say Ultra.
I told you, it's white with pink.
No, it's pink with white.
Sunset Mist.
It's definitely white with a bit of pink.
It's pink with white.
Sunset Mist, one of 6 new misty shades from Crown.
Well, I say it's white with pink.
And I know it's pink with white.
New misty shades, 6 elegant shades of white with colour.
6 delicate shades of colour with white.
That's why you're more at home with Crown.
If you're viewing without a TV license, you'll need to keep one eye on the road. Because TV detector vans are in this area. They have the address of every house or flat that doesn't have a TV license. So you could face a summons and a fine of up to £200. Please get a license before you get a visit.
Friday on Yorkshire, and the last winner takes all.
I see here that you first saw Winner Take All in Germany.
Yeah, on the British Forces television show. It started about 1978, 79, something like that. Didn't have British television. Used to have to watch the German and try and guess what they were saying.
At 7:30, Magnum meets a sportsman who really uses his head.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm looking for Dorsey Bramlett.
When an athlete is in training, don't ever break his concentration.
And it's a case of one too many in Third Time Lucky.
Stop that, George.
Stop what?
Stop it. Pull yourself together.
I have been trying to pull myself together the whole day, but to be quite frank, I'm in fragments all over the carpet.
At 9, Stanley puts a shine on Harvey Moon.
Stand up straight, speak when you're spoken to, be truthful and honesty is the best policy.
That's the most important thing to remember. And that's when your father escaped from the Japanese?
Yes, sir.
Wing Commander and Mrs. Moon.
And here's a full look at Friday on Yorkshire.
Scotland loses 3,000 Trident missile jobs to America. The TUC applauds the nurses, the government doesn't budge. The chief gunman in Bern was a former communist spy. The QE2 is still stuck, her passengers can't wait. And Sebco may have glandular fever. He's out of the Commonwealth Games. Good evening. The government are scrapping plans for a £500 million Trident nuclear missile service base at Coulport on the Clyde. Instead, the missiles will be serviced at an American Navy base at Kings Bay in Georgia. 1,500 construction jobs planned for the mid-1980s at Coulport will be lost, and another 1,500 existing jobs will be phased out by the mid-1990s. The switch to Georgia seems to contradict Mr. John Nott's statement in March that the Coulport plans would go ahead. Mr. Hugh Wiper, the General Secretary of the Transport and General Workers Union in Scotland, said, "It takes work away from Britain and provides work for Americans, and we pay for it." Our industrial editor, Giles Smith, reports.
If the original decision to replace Polaris with the American Trident was controversial, today's decision seems likely to be almost as much so. One of Mr. Nott's justifications for spending £7.5 billion on the system at the time was that a lot of the work might be done by British firms. Now at least 3,000 potential jobs in the 90s have disappeared. And the irony is that the anti-nuclear groups who campaigned against the base, including some Scottish trade unionists, have seen the jobs go, but the warheads for these missiles will still be on their doorsteps because it's only the missiles that'll be serviced in America. The decision is a blow to local employment prospects on Clydeside. Although local authorities and unions had campaigned against the base on anti-nuclear grounds, they'd accepted that if we were to have Trident, it was best that the jobs that went with it should come in their area. Although the decision, according to the government, makes military and economic sense, it also seems controversial for another reason. If the key missile servicing work is to be done in America, would it not be fair to say that Britain didn't have a truly independent nuclear deterrent?
No, it has no effect on its independence at all. The deterrent Trident, now Polaris, remain wholly and totally under the control of the British Prime Minister, and that will remain the case.
But you will be dependent on America for spares, and it is conceivable that some future administration might decide not to give you those spares.
Well, we're dependent on the Americans for spares in the case of Polaris, and they've never broken their agreement over many years. They're our closest allies. We depend with them for our joint defense, so there's no question of that problem arising. If some catastrophe was to happen, then the Trident missiles remain on the submarines, operational at sea for an 8-year period. So if there was some hiccup in the provision of spares, I'm sure we could provide them for ourselves.
There are fears amongst the British defence industries that British firms are not going to get their fair share of the Trident programme. Doesn't this decision actually confirm those fears?
I've always said that it's going to be very difficult for British industry to break into this, but what we did succeed in doing is getting major changes in the American rules, which to some extent prohibited British industry from even tendering for the American Trident work. Now that has been overcome, everybody's on the same basis. I don't deny it's going to be difficult for British, but we're all trying very hard.
£10,000 million is what it's going to cost, and this is something that this country simply can't afford. But in any event, the bribe that we were given at the time, and it's very clear, it's on the record, that John Nott made at the time was that there would be more jobs because of it. No doubt a few people fell for it. Now he's had to pull back. Of course, the jobs will be in America. That's where the money will be made, not here at all.
The government's argument is that the £500 million that'll be saved by not building Coulport can be spent on other conventional weapons, and that those will be made in Britain, and that will promote jobs in the defence industry.
The American government has declared sanctions against John Brown Engineering at Clydebank. That's the British firm supplying turbines for the Siberian gas pipeline. John Brown have been banned from getting any oil or gas equipment from the United States in future. President Reagan has insisted, despite European protests, that they will put sanctions on all European firms helping the Russian pipeline. A Russian ship left the Clyde today with 6 of the 21 John Brown turbines for the pipeline.
Swiss anti-terrorist police took 12 minutes today to end the Polish embassy siege in Bern. Using tear gas and stun grenades, they stormed the building this morning, freeing the hostages and arresting 4 gunmen. No one was hurt. The terrorist leader has been named as Florian Kruzik, a Polish exile. And the Austrian Interior Ministry said tonight that he'd been jailed in Austria in 1968 for spying. At his trial, Kruzik said he posed as a Polish refugee and spied on other Poles at a camp in Austria. He was expelled to Holland in 1969, where he'd been living. Kruzik and the others arrested will be tried in Switzerland because Switzerland doesn't have an extradition treaty with Poland. From Bern, here's Ken Rees.